I'm here to answer a couple of questions that appear to have come up, not just in me, but I mean, because there's question asking um, about my last post about my mother's prayer wheel, and so here I am. I'm sitting on the edge of the portion of the yard that my mother had declared when I was much younger a nature preserve, and she had named the nature preserve the Sugar Shack. She was really into the song at the time, and question one, how can I phrase it? Try to get it right to how it has been put. Surely you don't blame your mother's tribe for all of your woes and the breaking of your family. Blah 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 blah. I don't know. It's been put. Of course not. I did say that my family was already dysfunctional when the event happened. I do blame them for their part. I do blame them for their telling my mother what a witch I was, and yes, they told her, and that I was evil. And even though the person that encouraged my mother to tell me I could not go near the holy things is apparently no longer part of it, a couple of the other people that were possibly involved are. And what I blame them mostly for is the slander. Because let's face it, they slandered me. And those lies are still hanging out today. And that's slander. And my reputation was completely ruined. And the tragedy of that, besides what happened between me and my family, is that they broke this news to me on the weekend that I had started making regalia and was going to completely do things their way after a lot of knee jerking because I didn't like the kind of changes they wanted, and I had completely accepted everything. And, yeah. So no, I don't blame them for my entire life. I've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes, but I do blame them for the slander. And I do feel that the right thing to do is to fix it, especially since some of them go on and on and on about balance and God and the Creator and even Jesus, and then I guess you could say that some of them are being your stereotypical Christians, which is sad that Christianity has earned the kind of reputation that's stereotypical, or one of the stereotypes. Try to remember the other question. What was it? Besides the fact that my puppy is chewing my foot. Nista, Nista, good boy. I got my father's brother to name him because I couldn't come up with a name that he liked. So my father's brother suggested Nista, which means to heart in Mohegan. I mean, it's not quite because the word for heart, you put articles to it. You can say someone's heart, but you would really say your heart, my heart. Body parts tend to have like this added addition to them, kind of like saying my mother passed and my father passed. And I've got to remember to do that. Uh, I my parents in the present tense, my father especially in the present tense, and I've got reasons for that I probably will never share to you guys. I'll share when I'm being silly at a powwow because people think it's silly. But anyway, what was the other question? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. Um, Update on my mother's wheel though. Um, Sorry that I can't remember your question. If I find it again and everything, I'll do another post, I guess. I don't want to do too many of these though because it goes spam. But I have not been able to locate who the current medicine woman of to approach about wheel making is. My experience with approaching my own particular branch with the tribe has also been problematic in other matters. I need to reach out to them again. I worry that I'm going to end up having to do a pan Indian approach to the wheel. Most likely, though, I'm just going to pull on my very scant knowledge and build as best I can, knowing that the more I learn, the more I can recenter and straighten out as time goes. We were hoping to begin clearing and get it done this weekend. Some of the work I'm going to need help on. I do have a friend who said he'd help tomorrow. I need to reach out to him and remind him. um, we're probably just going to start with a general raking and clearing of the brush that's growing over it. Uh, and then we've got to get some white sand to lay down and realign the rocks and everything. What's really cool is this wheel is by a bitter orange tree. I was gonna. The reason why we found it is because I was gonna put bees back there by the tree because orange honey is the best. I don't think bees by mom's wheel. Well, I mean, my dad used to raise bees, so maybe it's fitting. I don't know. uh, but let me, because I wanted to keep this short. Let me show you the preserve that is the Sugar Shack as it stands. With my parents' ailing health, things were really getting out of hand to the point that even though it is a nature preserve, some of it has to be brought under tow because there are not endangered anymore. Well, endangered. There are 7 species of pitcher plant in Florida, and we have one up here, and they are either all endangered or under watch. And we have them growing. We had before they started tearing everything apart, growing here. And I haven't really explored back there to see if they're still growing back there. I know that a cedar tree that is my longtime friend, yes, I did say that, and Fidelia Fielding, the last fluent speaker of the Mohegan language, would also say that, as would some other medicine people. So learning this recently really made me feel very comfortable with the fact that I was raised talking to trees. When I was much younger, an elder of another uh, tribal family had said to me, yes, you can even use the trees to transfer messages around the world to each other. And I was, people said I was silly and quote unquote batshit crazy. And then science proved it a few years later. I felt so vindicated. I felt so vindicated that this old wisdom is scientifically sound. So let me just do a little pan. This is the edge of the preserve area of the Sugar Shack. I'm going to, I'm actually sitting at the edge where I want the edge to be, and because we're going to also restore some plants here if I can get my hands on them. And put a couple of trails that'll help me get to areas to maintain them without actually hurting the landscape too much. There's a water source back there I need to be able to get to. I noticed my dad had been going back there. I know, because he planted an elephant ear back there. Dad and his elephant ears. So one more pan. Well, this will be cleaned up if you're, I don't know. I can't live here 24/7 because the house here is too tiny for me. We haven't figured out what to do because I do have a house up north and we haven't quite figured out how to handle this. One step at a time. The property isn't completely out of litigation either. But that is the Sugar Shack. And that direction is my mother's wheel. One step at a time, guys. But no, I don't completely blame the tribe. I just, don't appreciate, you know, a medicine woman had said to me, you should give to the tribe even when you're at odds with them. And I have given and given and haven't really asked for anything in return. Well, I did say I needed an apology, but when it was communicated to me that was never happening, I haven't asked for anything since, and I won't because they don't have anything I want. They don't have anything I want or need really. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, one step at a time. I mean, I have what my father taught me, but I think everyone has gaps in their learning, and that's why your life is a complete learning journey up until the day you die. So, I mean, I'm middle-aged, but my journey still has only just begun, right? Okay. How do I stop this thing?